Can we have roll call, please,
Yours
Lisa?
still don't, but.
Councilmember Gassman.
Here.
Seeley.
Here.
Allison.
Here?
Odor.
Here.
Please read the minutes, Councilman Gassman.
Certainly, Your Honor. I move to dispense with the reading of the regular Committee of the Whole minutes on December 5th, 2017, and they be approved as published on December 18th, 2017.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? We have roll call, please.
Councilmember Allison.
Yes.
Odor.
Yes.
Gassman.
Yes.
Seeley.
Yes.
We have no public hearings today. Is there anybody in the audience that wishes to speak to the council? Seeing none, Councilman Gassman.
Thank you. Your Honor, I move that we approve the consent agenda as presented on the attachment.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion?
We had one number 10 that was going to be discussed in a little more detail, so we should probably take that one off. Yeah, Rex is out in the audience, so. Was there
Okay.
any other ones?
In number 2.
Are there any further? Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I got one more. Forgot about that. 6. Yeah. Good. Thank you.
We'll proceed with, well, since there's no further motions on that, we'll probably go to the consent agenda and have the discussion.
Your Honor,
Oh, I'll
can we
second
take
it.
roll call
We can
on
take-
approving the remainder of the
Yeah.
consent
Yes,
agenda?
roll call, please.
Councilmember Allison.
Yes.
Odor.
Yes.
Gassman.
Yes.
Seeley.
Yes.
Okay. Councilman Seeley, number 10.
Are we doing that now?
No, we'll go that at the
We
end
want
of
to
the
go through
meeting.
the whole thing?
At the end of the
Okay.
unfinished
All right.
stuff.
Councilman Seeley,
Or
the ordinance under motions,
Yes.
resolutions, and,
Gassman.
Yeah.
oh, I'm sorry. We ran
Kinda
out of
skipped
order
me
here.
on
a little bit. We're running
You
out of
already
order
got
with
it, don't
few
ya?
people today. Yeah. Councilman Gassman.
Thank you, Your Honor. I move that the claims we have be received, approved, and placed on file.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other responses? Please read roll call.
Councilmember Odor.
Yes.
Gassman.
Yes.
Seeley.
Yes.
Allison.
Yes. Councilman Seeley.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have an ordinance for the second consideration.
Second.
We have an ordinance for the second consideration. May I have roll call, please?
Do you want to read the ordinance, Councilmember Seeley?
I think we do roll call.
You do it after roll call.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Councilmember Odor.
Yes.
Gassman.
Yes.
Seeley.
Yes.
Allison.
Yes.
An ordinance amending Chapter 114 of the Clinton, Iowa Code of Ordinances.
Thank you.
Your Honor, I have an ordinance for the second consideration.
Second?
Any discussion? Or no, we have to roll call it, don't we?
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Odor.
Yes.
Gassman.
Yes.
Seeley.
Yes.
Allison.
Yes.
An ordinance amending Chapter 159 of the Clinton, Iowa Code of Ordinances.
Thank you. Councilman Odor.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have an ordinance for the second consideration.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Seeley.
Yes.
Allison.
Yes.
Odor.
Yes.
Gassman.
Yes.
Thank you. We'll now move to any.
Oh, I need to read it.
I'm sorry.
An ordinance amending Chapter 32 of the Clinton, Iowa Code of Ordinances.
Thank you. Now we'll go to unfinished business. Councilmember Seeley.
Thank you, Your Honor. 2. You want to start with 2?
Sure.
Okay. Tree Commission.
Yes.
I read the minutes, and I saw they were still, and Lynn's not here today, so I don't know if she's addressed this or not, but they were still asking about the inventory stuff. So has that been addressed?
Yeah, we actually had Creighton at the meeting, attended the meeting. He's gonna provide, we have the updated list inside of actually the Public Works office in here, but they're just gonna make sure they match them up.
Okay, awesome. And then they're also talking about the prairie proposal. I was wondering where we were at on that, if we were doing anything, any considerations. This would be in Liberty Square. I think we've discussed it once, and the tree commission's discussed it a couple times. Nobody has any.
No.
There's no
I know
input.
the conversation
Is
continues.
it something we should continue to look into?
Yes.
Definitely. I know we spent a lot of money mowing down there, and someone noted maybe there was an area that was not mowed that maybe we just let it become natural prairie, but I think it might take a little more work than that. But
Well, and Randy had looked at, do we just let a whole area go natural,
yeah,
and then what's the
you mean weeds?
yeah, or we plant actually wildflowers, and
Okay.
then what would the cost be to get in there to clean
Well, we
up?
don't want to be in violation of our own ordinances, so.
Well, and it's a trash collector too, because as
yeah.
the wind blows, everything piles in there, and then you got to go through and pick
Well, I
it up.
think maybe over the winter we should continue to
Yep.
look into this, because if we're going to do something, I think spring is
The time
time.
to- Yeah, and the other piece that they talked about also was what I explained to Randy prior is, the city wants to be able to provide funds for trees, but the way we wanna do it is they bring a proposal to us. So they say, hey, we wanna put X number of trees at Y location, we'd bring that to the council, then you guys would then approve that versus just saying, hey, here's 40,000 for trees.
Okay.
So we wanna make sure we have a good plan in place, they bring it through the tree commission to the council, you all approve that, then we would move forward on that. But we're
Okay.
making sure we have dollars set aside, but they have to bring those plans, each one of those,
Okay.
for you
Yeah.
guys to approve.
In
Yes, ma'am.
reference to Liberty Square, I mean, we haven't had a proposal for a plan for the
No.
entire square for quite a long
Yeah.
time, so would we wanna plant trees until we know where
Well,
our
this one,
plan was?
well, this would be just prairie grass or prairie
Okay.
wildflowers, and so I think we would maybe start small to go, bigger later and give it a try, cause
Yeah,
that whole, how that paddle wheel is, that grass that's there
Yeah,
is
it's
actually
supposed
supposed
to
to
be-
be,
yeah.
and maybe we start
Waving.
there and in front of it, cause it's supposed to look like water. that's-
Waving in
yeah.
water, yeah.
When you're flying overhead, it definitely looks like it.
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Okay.
And I have one other
Yep.
thing that wasn't on here. All the trees that have been planted at Eagle Point Park, rods were put in, but they were never fastened. And actually, the majority of them go back 2 years.
Yes,
And before they're, I think something should be done. Why I don't know.
I'll reach
I
out.
helped
I'll-
with it, and I
I'll
don't know
reach
why
out.
we
I
put
did
the
the
rods
first
in and stuff to not tie them.
I'll reach out to Randy.
Yeah, okay.
we move to approve that number 2.
Oh, yeah,
consent
now,
agenda.
that's it. I'll approve it.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Odor,
Yes.
Gasman,
Yes.
Seeley,
Yes.
Halsey.
Yes. Number 6, Lyondale Equipment Movement.
Oh, yeah, forgot to ask Matt about this, but
Yep.
you can provide us with some clarification.
Yep, and I have some back support as well. But so the background is they approached Zane, an engineer office. They're going to have some extremely long loads at the pictures in there. I'll put it on the screen in a second for
Yep.
the public. But bottom line is they're asking permission to fill out the form to be able to take that load directly off the North Bridge and up 19th Avenue North as an exception. Because we do not feel, engineers do not feel that they can make the turn if they come off the South Bridge and they try to go on North Fourth Street and try to go to Liberty Square. And they're going from Illinois to Lionel Basel with this equipment. As you can see by those pictures, it's rather
Yeah,
large. Let me do this for
Definitely.
the folks at home.
Yeah.
Where's he putting these? JT Clem?
Sort of looks like
Oh, it does.
So this is just a one-time deal then, huh?
well, they have, there's
Or-
gonna be 16 to 18, 16 total, but spread out.
Oh, okay.
Time. Yeah, it does look like the Apollo 13. So. It does. It's just got a little longer base on the bottom right there, so. Sir, did you wanna address, like, any specifics on the length? The weight's not really the issue, it's more of the cumbersomeness of the length and trying to make corners, so.
We built one of these before, back when Lyondale or Kimplex, one called it, had an explosion fire.
Oh.
Use the microphone.
Yeah, can you
Sir,
hit the
which-
microphone, sir, and
There's one there.
we'll have you are you up here, sir?
Take
I'm
that
sorry.
one.
We'll have you introduce yourself real quick so that the public will know.
I'm Roger Johnson of JT Cullen Company, Vice President. I've been involved for over 40 years. Anyway, like I was saying, when they had an explosion and fire in one of these way back, I'm thinking 1989, we built a replacement silo and hauled it site. These tanks are a little bit bigger than they've decided to put in a new bank, and there's 16 of them, and they're 14-foot diameter, 80 feet overall long, which is taller than the other ones. The other ones were 66 feet tall.
Okay.
So these are longer. As you can see, we've done this in the past. That's why we've got the axles. We literally bolt it to the cone end. We have a wrecker, and I'm going to get Roger's truck and trailer repair. He's the only one left with
Okay.
a wrecker in town.
So when you're hitting, like, say you were going, hitting's a bad word, but when you're driving along and you're gonna go up an incline, does that wrecker allow you then to lift that up so it doesn't scrape on that and use the rear axles? So can you kind of explain that?
Yeah, and that's why we need a wrecker, because you need to change the elevation up and down like you were saying. When you go either up an incline or you go over a railroad crossing.
Oh, okay.
Because sometimes the railroad crossings have a rise, a hump rise. And you need to lift that temporarily in the front to get you up to where the wheels then take over and ride over the hump.
And if you think about North
And
Third
down.
Street, as you hit that light and you're going up, you're gonna have to lift it quite substantially to be able to make sure it doesn't drag going up 19th
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
And then we looked also, is when you hit 19th to Mill Creek, that turn should be very feasible, but we'll have to stop
Yeah, that
traffic.
should be-
And then the other tough turn will be once they get down to 30, taking the right turn to go
Yeah.
out 30
Yeah.
to Lion Basel, just because you might have to swing a hair over in there. Might be able to make it straight up, but
Now, what
it
a-
follows pretty well.
What about navigating the two curves on 19th? Is that gonna be difficult with,
Oh,
or
as
does
you
that
wind
a-
around
winding.
19th.
Oh,
does the
that's
back
good.
axle pivot as well then?
no,
No?
no, you won't need, they aren't sharp enough curves to be bothered with.
And, oh yeah.
Will you have a escort when this
Oh,
happens?
yes, we'll have escorts front and back.
And are you thinking like a
Walls.
specific time that you would go, like early in the morning, or, high noon so everybody can see you, or,
Well, we gotta go during daylight
Yeah.
hours, but, as far as, whenever, of course, the job site will be, we haven't got their input yet. but
Gotcha.
I'm sure they'd want, what they're planning, and I'm not controlling that on their end, is how they accept them.
Sure.
Is they would like us, and that's why we're storing these on our own property right now. We've got most of them built. We're finishing up the last 3 right now. And, we're going to store them till the job site needs them to start progressing out there. And that is based on the building, they're putting up a new building to plop these into. So the building, they're telling us, is mid-January before they can start to take these. And we're looking at maybe 1 a day for, 5 days a week, and then
Okay.
come back.
Yeah, and our intent would be that, we have you guys fill out the Iowa Department of Transportation form.
Right.
We give a heads up, because we want to be able to notify the folks that live out there, because this is not for heavy traffic. We understand this is not actually heavy, it's just very, very long. And so we want to make sure, based on the council's thumbs up, is that we do our due diligence and prepare the folks that are out there, make sure we have the police in line as well to provide assistance, just in case on a couple of those corners. And really, we're interested in the first run to see how that goes and see what lessons we learn from that, and I think we'll be fine, but that way we'd have good visuals on the first time we do it, and that way we'd be more informed for the other 15 that go.
9 o'clock in the morning, it's pretty quiet on the
Pretty quiet
bridge.
out there.
Yeah, I've driven the road several times, studying it, and, yeah, versus going 34th Street and 30 through Clinton. The traffic
gosh.
difference is night and day, and it's going to be a lot safer for everybody if we can go up 19th Mill Creek over 30 and then out.
Now,
That-
if we had a bunch of roundabouts, would it work?
Oh,
We'd go right through it. Like they do at Mount Vernon, they
who's
just go right
gonna
through it.
stop ya?
Remember, it'll lift it up above the road.
Yeah, you're right, you're right. What about the statues in the center, though?
Be very careful.
Are there
They're
any
on the
more
side.
questions for Mr. Johnson?
That's,
Any more discussion, Mr. Johnson?
well, just to, I brought along other pictures. This is the
Okay.
first time we've moved
Yeah.
things like this. We've done this for Clinton Corn, when it used to be Clinton Corn. We've moved stuff down to Alcoa and Bettendorf the same way. We've done this type of movement with wrecker and a set of bogey wheels quite a few times. So I want to assure you, we understand, you know, what we're getting involved with.
Okay.
And it's not an underground launching facility.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
very much.
Thank you very much.
Are there any further questions?
No, I'll make a motion to approve it.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Could we have roll call, please?
Councilmember Odor,
Yes.
Connell,
Yes.
Gasman,
Yes.
Seeley,
Yes.
Allison.
Yes. Now we're going to number 10, and it's,
This one was, pushed off from last time because they wanted to have a little more discussion on, the time that would be spent on each of these, nuisance cleanups or the snow removal, and then how we sort of account for, you know, the time it takes, and, also wonder how we can do it for $25 an hour.
Mr. Brandt, would you like to come forward?
Or do you want to start with Jeff first, or?
Or Jeff?
Yeah, let's start with Jeff.
Okay,
Yeah.
we'll start Jeff.
Jeff Chapman, Building Neighborhood Services. Good morning.
Morning.
Answer any questions you might have. Apologize for not being here last time. I didn't realize it'd be pulled.
I think the big one was that this was actually $18 in a quarter last year, so, and can you just kind of explain the volume that you guys are seeing and as far as keeping up with this?
Well, this year, with the addition of another inspector, where volume's over doubled. So we've gotten a lot of things accomplished with them. We've kept, the contract that we have, I believe, you know, too busy. We've inundated them with a lot of things. On the price, I can't speak towards that because I'm not, you know, I would hate to speak for these folks on what it costs them to do this job. My personal opinion is 18 was way low, 25 still too low, but I'm not the one that bids it.
And as I recall, the second bid was about double this.
48.
History, just a little history since I've been there on them bids. Really, except for last year, we had 3 bidders. One of them last year, I think, was $58 an hour. Otherwise, it was $18.25 and $18.50 and 19 something, and it's been Mr. Brandt in hometown, since 2013 when I stepped in there. It's always been them two, with the exception of last year. We had one other one that was, like I said, around $58 an hour.
Yep.
So
How many are we talking a week here? Cause I'm thinking about when
Of
we have the
cleanups?
list, yeah.
you know, I can break the numbers down, but there's a weekly list.
Like
3,300 nuisance inspections. And
I think
wanna
it's
say there's
700.
700 and some
Yeah, cleanups.
that we sent to contractors. That's both mowing and cleanups.
Okay.
The difference between the cleanup is some of them cleanups have to be done like ASAP.
Yeah.
I mean, we get people that are evicted, all their stuff's moved to the curb by a judge's order, which is actually a violation of city ordinance. I still can't figure that part out, but,
Oh, so then we go clean
yeah,
that up?
we end up cleaning them up. Right now, what we're running into is we're running into a lot of abandoned homes that are being broke into. We get them secured, people pry the wood off them, we're continually re-securing them, they're all over town. They also do that, that's also part of that,
Okay.
so.
Alright. And so we, like, when you go do a cleanup like that, does this include the landfill fee then?
No, the landfill fee would be on top of that, the way the RP's written.
We would
So
pay that.
we do an hourly,
Okay.
and then on top of that would be the landfill tickets.
We don't have to pay like mileage or anything, do we?
I don't think I think we're getting charged for whatever they're seated. We're not getting charged
Is it
mileage,
just
but
the-
we're
the
just
per
the
hour
hours,
charge,
right,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay. I think to me, I was just like, why is it so different? And I was thinking, it was a little thought it was dealing with something else, I guess, but then just this, but.
I think we
I-
were missing a page too on the submission.
Yeah,
we
On
were
the
missing
last
a
one,
page,
we
yeah.
were also
Yeah.
missing a page.
I don't believe we've had a change in our contractor. Help me out, Rex. How long you been trying to do this? 6 years. So I've been there since 13, and we've had the same contractor the entire time. And I know this year was rough for him because of the volume that we gave him.
Okay.
It was a huge volume,
Okay.
which paid off. I mean, if you drive down 7th Avenue, I think you'll see some things different this year than years in the past. So.
Okay. What are we gonna do if we have that situation where it's so busy, one contractor can't keep up?
We have some thoughts, and you'll have something next month before you again on the grass side of it. I don't know if nobody's asked the question that we split these. Used to be all one, grass and everything, but there's just no way that can happen.
Okay.
It's just too much volume. So we've pulled them apart. We have something coming, grass is coming in the spring. You're gonna see something come across your desk and your inbox on grass and what we like to do with that. But we're always looking for ways, if you have ideas on how to streamline this to make it, obviously, if you can make it easier on my department, I'd love that. That's
Plant
not gonna happen.
wildflowers and people that don't mow,
And, yeah, that'd be great.
you know?
Yeah, Jeff and I have actually talked about, how do we line this up like the towing contract where
Right.
if we have an accident, we have 5 cars, it's gonna be multiple tow trucks that come. So if we have these occurring, how can we do it legally to allow multiple contractors to go in to get those jobs done versus stacking them up and then you're backed up, and what happened last year, you just had so many, and then you're just worn out and he's doing double duty because that contractor was also mowing.
Yeah.
That's why it's been split out as well.
A lot of the stuff that, and remember one thing in here, when we're talking about these cleanups, this is scheduled. This is a complaint or, us a drive-by, we notice a violation, letters and postings get done just like the ordinance states. If it's an emergency, then we can use whoever we can get
Okay,
on an emergency situation, fires, things of that nature.
okay.
And the good news on this is, and Rex knows this, but so did Tom, we get pictures, Jeff knows what's there, what needs to be done, and then you can basically see if the job's complete or not, cause then you go back out and you can see the nuisance now. It's
Yeah,
different.
we've sucked some things in, the mayor can, if he was here, could back me, Julie, you can just go with me on this one, okay? Couple of years ago, we had people that would come in and say, hey, I cleaned this up, there's no way that you did this. And to go sit before the mayor and the complaint, bring us all together and no proof, buy on the $800 just goes out the window and the taxpayer gets to pay it. We changed that a few years ago, that we take our pictures,
Yep.
and then our contractor takes a picture before and after.
It has to be
And
timestamped too, doesn't it?
timestamp would be great, but pictures speak 1,000 words. That's somebody in my office that come in and said, no, my uncle did that, there's no way your person could do it. I showed her the pictures and she said, who do I write the check to?
Yeah,
So them pictures speak loud. And we required that a few years, last year we started with them pictures and really started hounding on before and after on these things, because we get a lot, hey, I cleaned that up, your people didn't. And it's rough when you have to go in there arguing with people on
Yep.
what we did or didn't do, since we're not the ones actually doing the work.
okay. Good deal.
Okay, anything further?
Move to
Thank you.
approve it.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Any further questions or concerns? We have roll call, please.
Councilmember Odor,
Yes.
Connell,
Yes.
Gasman.
Yes.
Seeley.
Yes.
Allison.
Yes. We have no unfinished business. Councilmember Gasman.
Thank you, Your Honor. I move we adjourn to 7 PM, January 9th, 2018.
Second.
Thank you.
Where'd you get this Nancy boots?
Some of us have a day job.
They're good looking.
No coffee for me, just whiskey. I don't know if we can talk about
Yeah, from that. Yours don't have any money in it, though.
Better have some.
Is there a reason mine's a brown envelope? Oh, I'm just kidding. Brown envelope full of cash? Oh.
My guy. All up underneath here. I got all over
Hey, first off, thank you for all those that came, that are supporting the folks that are going to be sworn into office today. We'd also like to introduce Judge Mike Judge. Is that a palindrome? Yes. And so, sir, we'll have you come up right in the middle here so we can get you right smack on the TV screen there. And then what we're going to do first is we're going to actually have Councilmember-elect Julie Alcia, First Ward, be sworn in. Councilmember-elect Seth Oder, Third Ward, and his family can join if you'd like. We can get Booster. Booster, we should have brought you up there. You guys can surround him. Go ahead. It's all right. He might get nervous. You guys got to help him.
I, Seth Oder, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Iowa, and that I will faithfully and impartially, to the best of my ability, discharge all of the duties of the office of Third Ward Council in the city of Clinton, as now or hereafter required by law.
Now, Councilmember-elect Sean Connell at large with his family.
I, Sean Connell, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Iowa, and that I will faithfully and impartially, to the best of my ability, discharge all of the duties of the office of council at large in the city of Clinton, as now or hereafter required by law.
All right, now would Councilmember-elect Bill Shimmers and family come up, please? We're gonna need the wide ones here.
I, Bill Shimmers, do solemnly swear that I
was gonna tell him, Bill, we need you to sign, so don't leave.
Last meeting of the year.
Well, you.
It's blue. Here, wait, I gotta
You
I
can
gotta
always call a meeting and
Well, that's true.
open it.
Bill, we have 35 pins, you have to sign with each one of them. Yeah.
Just the top page.
That whole back table.
Yeah.
Just for one night, fundraiser.
That'd be a good one.
Yeah.
I'd pay to do that.
Well, thank you, Judge, we appreciate it.
Yep.
Judge?
Hey, and real quick, if we could get, the 4 newly elected to come up and get a photo, and then everybody else that's here will jump in for a photo. I know we're missing Lynn and Drew, but we'll do a quick photo of the 4 that just were elected.
Well, they got that photo shoot.
You guys go up by the city seal, get a photo of you guys. And then we'll have Cody and Paul jump on the sides.
We don't need to be in it. Why?
It's for the history books. Awesome. I think Cody.
Okay.
We'll draw Lynn in.
All right.
Photoshop. Alright, 5, 4, 3, 2. I think Seth and Sean are tied for the tallest post. Thanks. Alright. Big round. Fabulous board, the motley crew. Excuse me, but before you leave, you all have to have some refreshments over there by the mayor's photos. Thanks.
Is that what is necessary? Yeah, would you, because I didn't know exactly if you had to redo the background check or not. Okay, I'll remember that from now on. I never did many of these, so will we see that? Yeah, she's got a kitchen, a mobile kitchen. Okay, so,